Hello folks, I'm at Gridserve in Norwich and it's the opening day. They launched Braintree in Essex a few months ago and today is their second one. They have many more planned. So we're going to talk about the new electric forecourt here in Norwich, and I'm going to talk to the COO, which is Alan. Thanks for having me, Alan.
Pleasure.
To learn a bit more about what you're doing here at Gridserve.
Pleasure.
Personally, I only got into an EV in December last year, so this is all a new experience for me. I came here today with no clue about what these electric forecourts offer, and I found that charging my car here was probably the easiest experience I've had so far. So thank you for that. As you know, my channel is about shining a light on companies like yours that are conscious and are looking at increasing access to electric car charging. So, Alan, could you just tell my audience a little bit about Gridserve and what it's all about?
Yeah, of course, I'd be delighted to. So Gridserve is a mission-led business, okay? And the founders, CEO Toddington Harper, based our division to set up a business which actually made a fundamental change. Okay, and what we've been trying to do, and what we've been working very hard over the last 5 years, is to create the environment to really, help the transition away from, ICE vehicles, energy transition, transportation, and move towards EVs, and really move towards net zero. Okay.
Can you just explain to the audience about how you acquire your power with solar panels and batteries and the infrastructure that makes you pretty unique, I think?
Yeah, well, we've worked very hard from a point of view. We have utility scale hybrid solar. Okay, what that means is we have solar farms of about 100 to 200 acres in size, with energy storage, 30, 50, 100 megawatts hours of battery.
So you're not reliant upon the grid?
We are reliant upon the grid because of the scale that we do. Okay, but as of over the next couple of years, the plan is that we will become fully net zero, through a full infrastructure, by us continue to deploy our own hybrid solar. At the moment, as you know, we've just refitted the electric highway across the country, about 170 sites, and as we're working with others, the main MSAs, motorway service organisations, we work with them to get power through that. But for all our own facilities like here today, or at Braintree or any of our new super hubs, all that energy is net zero from day one. So we do that already.
One of the things that surprised me today was I know you've got disabled accessible charge bays, but I just parked in a normal bay and it was more than adequate for my needs. So can you just explain your thinking behind accessibility and what your company policy, your design ethos is, and how you plan to make everything accessible?
Yeah, of course. Very, very simply, if it's good enough for anybody with a disability, it's good enough for everyone else. Yeah. That's at the heart of the philosophy. Okay. I am not sitting here today suggesting that it's perfect by any stretch, but what we do is whether it's with people who need to use a wheelchair or have an ambulant requirement, or maybe they've got some visual impairment, or even things like colour blindness.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What we've tried to do is to provide the facility, not just the charger, but the whole facility, to make it access for all. Okay.
Would if somebody came here and they were a bit intimidated first time around, is there any kind of staff support that could help?
Yeah, absolutely. We have staff on site full time, not 24/7, but from early in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, later through the summer, who are able to support anyone who comes to charge or wants to use the facilities, who have maybe a disability, and they'll be helping out the chargers if they have any concerns, particularly new users, who may have never used the facility before.
That's right. What's happening right now is that the disabled driving community, Motability customers if you like, they're facing an inevitable challenge which is to transition over to an EV. Now, this isn't necessarily a personal choice, but a necessity. What I found in my discussions with a lot of people is they're not averse to having an EV, but their concerns, their anxieties, if you like, are how am I going to charge it? Now, what we recommend to most people, obviously, is to get a car with a longer range as possible and to have a home charger.
Yep.
And for the majority of our travel, that should be sufficient. You know, we can look after our charging efforts, if you like, from our home chargers. But a lot of disabled people would, like to be able to go on holiday to Scotland or to Wales or to Norwich. So they want to know that if we do that, can we confidently drive into Gridserve and use their services? So what you're telling us then is, number one, yes, there will be accessible bays, and number two, if you've got any concerns, there will be staff here to help you get going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think also, Roger, to support what you're saying there, that increasingly through the network, through the UK, right, we obviously have a range of facilities. So from these electric forecourts, we have for people full time.
Yeah.
We're working closely with some of the MSAs, or service organisations, who have effectively agreed to have people trained, so they can also support on our facilities where we don't have people. So they can also support they're trained in the facility to how to use it. Okay.
Right.
There will obviously be some areas that we just are quite remote, so we'd be unable to do that. But the vast majority, particularly when you get to the super hubs or to get to these forecourts, we'll have people there.
I mean, once you've used it, a couple of times, then it's just like using any other product. You get used to it. But I know somebody just the other day I was talking to that had a car for 3 years and never used a public charge network. So there is always that first time. So that's brilliant to know that you're going to do that.
I think the other thing, again, just worth mentioning is that about 45%, 47% of people in the UK don't have the ability to have home charging.
Yes.
Right. So the facilities like which we build here and we provide to the public 24/7. These are available, 24/7, 365. Is that it gives them that opportunity. So somebody who has been unable to because they don't have home charging, they shouldn't feel anxious or threatened now. Right. These facilities are here now to help their journey into an EV. And I think the other thing which we've taken, which is very important, is we don't leave anybody stranded. Yeah. So in any of our facilities, we've got 24/7, 365 help desk. If in the highly unlikely case that something doesn't work or there's an issue with their vehicle, they will never be left stranded.
That's great to know. I was extremely not surprised because I was kind of pre-warned, but I was extremely impressed when I came into this unit. The lounge, the Marks and Spencers, the Costa, and then I went into your disabled toilet. It's fantastic, well designed, lots of room, nice and modern. Even the waste paper bin is electrically operated, digital. Yeah. So that's fantastic. So for anybody that has any concerns about charging their electric vehicle as a disabled driver, if you come and try this place, you will find that it's actually not difficult, and if you do have any physical problems, there's going to be somebody that can help you get through that process. And while you're here, you can relax in the lounge, you can have a cup of coffee, you can do your shopping at Marks and Spencers even, and there's fantastic views out the window as well. So Alan, I want to say thank you very much for giving us this interview and for doing what you're doing to the charge network, and hopefully you can keep us informed about what's coming up and how things are, and thank you for building the future.
Thanks, it's very kind, and hello to you and your colleagues. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much indeed.
Absolute pleasure.
Cheers.
Keep checking.